America is watching.
The left has somehow gotten even more deranged since President Trump took office. It's almost hard to keep up, but we're going to try. Joining me now is Jason Rantz, Seattle radio host and creator of SeattleRed.com. And also with me, Brianna Lyman, correspondent at The Federalist. All right, panel, let's start with the Democrats. They think that cursing and talking tough is going to help them win over voters. Watch.
To see this administration claiming that it cares about competence and merit, and then be responsible for an epic up like this, demonstrates that these are not serious people.
Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot mess.
Jason, we also heard the vice president today curse about the weather, but that's not something we hear from him often. The Democrats are trying to make it part of their identity now. Okay, Jason.
It's a weird identity. You're not edgy because you drop some F-bombs. I certainly believe that maybe a well-placed and well-timed F-bomb every now and then can be funny and effective. However, when robots like Pete Buttigieg are the ones who are delivering these scripted moments and everyone else is doing exactly the same, it seems so inauthentic. And right now, the biggest problem they've had is no one trusts these people. So why they would just go down with this script is just odd to me. I don't understand it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you would wonder who they're trying to relate to, because this obviously is a targeted message. But if they're trying to relate to younger folk who they may think like to curse a lot, it's not resonating with them because we actually want tangible policy solutions, not just misplaced curse words.
Yeah, that makes sense. Brianna, Mad Maxine Waters had this suggestion for Trump's deportation policy. Watch.
If he wants to start looking so closely to find those who were born here and their parents were undocumented, maybe he ought to first look at Melania.
Brianna?
Well, Melania is a legal immigrant, and Democrats, for some reason, cannot warp their heads around the difference between someone coming here illegally and someone being here legally. And that just shows what they think of all immigrants, right? Yeah. They're all the same.
Yeah, she's a U.S. citizen, Jason.
How is it possible that she could be 117 years old and not pick up a single thing about any of what she's talking about? It's very weird to me.
Yeah, that's perfectly said. Now, Jason, you heard about Trump's election integrity push this week. Well, here's the opposite. Watch.
We could eliminate all voter registration laws. See, when Democrats get in charge, we try to protect voting rights. We're going to agree that there should be voter eligibility requirements. But once you're eligible, why do you have to pre-register? It wasn't a thing in this country at the founding. We only started having voter registration, generally speaking, after the Civil War. Why do you think that is? It's because a bunch of freed African slaves were migrating up north, and all of a sudden New York was like, we need some registration up in here.
Jason?
I mean, in fairness to Eli Mistel, I think he literally thinks everything is racist. I don't think he has ever come out one single time and said, actually, that's a reasonable policy if it comes from anyone who's just not like a crazy socialist. It's raining outside. Racism is to blame.
Of course. Brianna?
You know, he talks about disenfranchising voters. Donald Trump announced this week that there would be proof of citizenship to register, and that's also the SAVE Act, which will come next week. Yeah. That is actually making sure that voters' voices are heard and not disenfranchising Americans who could possibly have their votes diluted by non-citizens who illegally vote.
Yes, and municipalities have passed laws to let them vote. Now, Brianna, this was a great one from Ambassador Susan Rice on the so-called Signal Gate. Watch.
It's stunning. It's likely the biggest national security debacle that any professional can remember.
Brianna?
I remember when, General Milley went to China and shared our plans with them that we wouldn't attack them. I think that's a bigger national security debacle than this.
Yeah, Jason?
You know what? I'm going to defend Susan Rice. If I had her record and was behind all of the debacles that she's been behind, I would also just pretend that Signalgate is the biggest thing ever.
Yeah, she's got some record, let me tell you. But Jason, Joy Behar made this ridiculous claim on The View. Watch.
They also have a tendency to blame the Biden administration. It's like, move on. That ship has sailed. I never remember in my lifetime a sitting president trashing a previous president. I've never heard that before.
Oh, Jason, go ahead.
Yeah, so I thought for a moment she might have been trolling us, but she's not clever enough to do that. She's just lacking all self-awareness. They blamed Reagan for everything for decades. Then they now start to go with Trump on literally everything he is to blame. They don't stop.
And Brianna, Obama blamed Bush every day for 4 years.
I was just going to say that. Every time Joe Biden had a failure, which was almost every single day, it was, well, Donald Trump set us up for this failure. Donald Trump pointing out what Joe Biden did and left him is not the same as blaming him, because Donald Trump's taking accountability by fixing things that he shouldn't have had to fix.
Yeah, and he is doing a good job, according to Americans who totally believe that we are going in the right direction, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, we judge our presidencies, the administrations, by the results. And people are looking at the results so far, and they certainly like the direction we're headed, because for the longest time, we were headed in the opposite direction where everyone wanted to go, and we were all screaming about it, but they ignored us.
Jason and Brianna, thanks so much. And that's it for us tonight. I'm Judge Jeanine Pirro in for Laura Ingraham. Make sure to catch me every Monday through Friday on The 5 and follow me on Instagram at Judge_Jeanine. Jesse Waters takes it from here.